is Barbara Hopkinson, and I am the Director of Customer and Partner.
The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Barbara Hopkinson, and I am the Director of Customer and Partner Relations at YASH Technologies. I'd like to welcome you to our webcast on how to reduce complexity of pricing and billing scenarios in contract and license management processes. As you can see on the slide, YASH is an end-to-end SAP software and services provider, as well as a global certified partner for SAP. One of our focus areas is the high-tech software industry. Many high-tech companies struggle with software license and services billing for compliance, income tracking, and other reasons. Today, we'll take a look at how to reduce some of this complexity using YASH's TechOne SAP Business All-in-One solution. Our presenter today is YASH Solution Architect Rajesh. Rajesh is a finance professional with more than 15 years of industry experience in manufacturing, technology, distribution, and professional services. He held senior positions at GE Global Research, Coca-Cola, and NCR Corporation. Rajesh also has more than 6 years pre-sales and implementation consulting experience with major software vendors. We will be holding a Q&A session after the presentation and demo. Without further ado, I'd like to present our speaker for today's event. Rajesh?
Hi, Barbara. Thanks a lot. Welcome to this brief interactive presentation on how businesses can reduce the complexity of pricing and billing in contract and license management. Let's today first begin with the key challenges that are faced by most of the high-tech and professional service industries. In an industry where customer expectations of personalized offerings through multiple sales channels continue to increase, organizations face typical challenges in managing pricing, billing, customer contracts, and real-time insight into operations. And now, if we include the product licensing, renewal, and pricing, the entire process becomes complex and challenging. Some of the general challenges that we've seen faced by the high-tech and professional service industry are creating accurate codes, accelerating custom proposal generation, specifically when working with product bundling and complex pricing. The real-time tracking of contracts, open, expiring, and expired contracts. The install-based tracking, specifically for initiating campaign management, ensuring price protection to customers, and customizing offers based on customer profile in real time. And real-time analytics for review of business operations. We will specifically look at how TechOne solution from YASH helps you meet these challenges effectively. The product configurator from SAP can be tailored for a wide range of industries, and most of the customers rely on SAP product configurator to sell and build products in a wide range of industries. It has powerful product modeling architecture, and it makes the process effortless to configure complex proposals, either by building a port from the selection of individual components and inaccurately pricing complex products and services, and simplifying the process of selling customized products, creating quotes more accurately and effectively, and accelerating the entire custom proposal generation. The contract management capabilities in SAP ERP solution specifically allows companies to develop, verify, revise, or submit customized contracts, generate and manage long-term agreements with customers, and create follow-up sales documents for agreements. Not just that, we could also look at setting up event-based triggers to alert the sales team well in advance before a contract comes up for renewal. We'll also talk a little about the new processes and solutions introduced by SAP to meet the challenges. SAP Convergent Charging is a solution created specifically in response to the product commoditization, increased competition, shrinking margins, and regulatory pressures. It is specifically designed to handle any type of consumption, usage, rating, and billing processes, handle thousands of transactions. It can handle massive volumes of transaction handling capabilities, and it gives a consolidated view of the customer through billing convergence. It also can customize offers based on customer profiles and behavior in real time, and is made to handle advanced pricing and profitability simulation processes. We will also talk about the dashboard functionalities that SAP can give specifically with respect to decision makers. The instant access to information they can quickly grasp, interact, and act upon. There are multiple drag and drop functionalities designed specifically to simplify creation of interactive visuals that enable faster, more informed decisions for stronger business performance. The SAP solutions, in addition, have also introduced mobile apps and infrastructure enabling organizations to improve employee productivity in various business functions like HR, sales, and finance, or procurement. We could look at capturing time, leave requests, approvals, submit travel requisitions, approve expenses, and payment approvals. Not just that, we could also look at sales order notifications to executives, material availability checks in real time, view contracts, view customer fact sheets, and include shopping cart approvals. There are multiple industry-specific features provided in mobile device analytics. Although this demo does not intend specifically to address the specific challenges mentioned in detail, it however has been specifically set up to show how YASH TechOne solution can help you reduce complexity of pricing and billing scenarios. In this demo, we shall try and address some of the challenges that we mentioned. We will look at sales analytics using SAP dashboards. We will also look at the code creation process and see how we will carry out a product bundling, a pricing, the version changes on the different versions that we discuss with the customers, and how we create contracts using the finalized codes as reference. We will also talk about sales order creation, the billing, and the install base processes. So in the demo flow, basically on the dashboard, we will typically talk about how we can view the sales dashboards, different sales dashboards in terms of region-wide sales, customer, top 5 customers, and in the code, we can specifically look at product configurators, the pricing. We will look at the version changes. We'll view the code in entirety. When coming to the contract processes, we will look at how we reference the contract creation to a code, how the system can automatically generate the serial number. We look at the pricing, the contract start and end date, and view the contract in its entirety. We will also show the demo on the order creation, confirmation of orders, the customer PO references, and then finally get on to the billing, where we reference the billing to a sales order. We show the multiple item billing, how the revenue is synchronized, how the billing plan is synchronized, and we'll also take a sneak view of the invoice basically. And the last but not the least is the install base, specifically where companies today are looking at basically the install base of their software, the license, the install base reports, the customer history, which would help them in future campaigns related to selling. So let's specifically look at the demo now, and then we'll come back to the benefits that the process has to the management and sales team. So we'll go through the dashboard first, and then look at how the interactive dashboards can be used in real time. Let's look at the sales analysis dashboards. We can look at the sales analysis dashboard specifically looking at the code status. The code status here shows what are the codes that are lost, what are the codes that are open, and what are the codes that are won in real time. Typically, the way the lost codes are when the validity of the codes are expired, the system automatically triggers and assigns it to a lost code. In case the codes are still open and there are no contracts created, it keeps the codes as an open status. And when the contracts are created against the codes, the status is moved to a 1. So here we can see in real time what kind of percentage of quotes have resulted in contracts. We can also look at region-wise quotes. If you can see the quotes below, you can see the region-wide quotes. How much of quotes? What is the value of quotes in real time? The number of licenses that we have, sent quotations for. We can also look at a year-wise product sales value. We can also look at planned versus actual in the product category. Let's look at some other dashboards here. We can look at the sales performance dashboard, a geographical dashboard looking at statewide sales. For example, the sale in California, you can look at and it shows that it is 322K of sales. We can click on this to see the following information. We can look at the customers that we sold to, the amounts, the number of licenses that we sold to these customers, the start and end dates of these contracts, and there are multiple formats available for seeing the top 5 customers in terms of their cross sales, their percentage, and these are much more intuitive and in real time. So definitely the need for dashboards has increased over the last few years, and we have kind of built into the solution the dashboards that are available for software and TechOne industry. Now let's go back to the actual demo. We will start off by showing you how to create a quote, followed up by how to create a contract, and then the sales order and the billing. In the quote creation, we will basically take a look at the following processes. How we use the product configurator, which is a very powerful tool to build complex pricing scenarios and product modeling. And we look at the pricing and billing plans. So we now create a quote with reference to a quotation type. We reference the customer PO, and we provide the validity period to which the quote is valid. We now build the quote specifically with the information. The software license, let's use the product configurator capabilities here. You can see that once we build in this, now we can see that it has provided us with a lot of options. Let's say we build 10 users, we use language, we can select the languages here. And then we can use the country versions. Let's say the database, it gives the users multiple options here. On the database, you can see that we have Oracle. We select the Oracle database, and we key in a license key specifically. We can at any time click on the price button to see the value of the quote, and clicking on the condition button would provide us with a detailed value split. Here we can see that there are 10 users and the database selected is Oracle. You can see the price breakup in this. We can also include now additional products specifically. We can include AMC support. Let's say we put an AMC support here. It is for the period of the contract. You can see the prices at this point of time. You can see basically we have built in AMC base AMC as a percentage of the license cost in this. So in our scenario, it's 15% of the license price. We can also additionally include the remote support, the service level agreement. We can again use the product configurator capabilities to specifically specify whether it's a service level 1 category or any specific other selection that we can. And we can see that the system has automatically selected the price for this. At this stage, if you look at it, our quote is ready, and we can see that the billing plan is 100% for licenses. We can check the billing plan here. You can see that the billing plan for the license is 100%. We can additionally select for each of these products and see what is the billing plan. And if you go to the the support product, we can actually see that the billing plan is equated for 12 monthly installments and automatically generated by the system. So we can now that our quotation is saved, we can now save the quotation for submission to the customer. Let's now assume that there are there could be possibilities that there are changes in the code. So we'll go to our next process where we make version changes. We have subsequent interaction with the customers and make the changes to the codes. So in this process, we will basically carry out the following activities. We can create version documents. We can make changes to the version documents till the time the codes are finalized, save the code, and view the entire history of the changes made. So let's look at individually each of these processes. We'll first create a version document. So we select the code and transfer the version document. We can use the edit functions to create this as is shown. Now we'll make the changes to the version document here. Let's say that the number of licenses based on the discussion with the customer has been changed, and now the customer requires 15 licenses instead of, say, the initial 10 licenses. So we can go ahead and make that change. You can select the product. Okay, let's just look at this. So we just select this and we go ahead and make the change from 10 to 15. Let's also look at changing the database. If the customer feels that the Oracle database needs to be changed and replaced with Cytex. Now we can save this version document and now call the code and review the changes, again using the edit function. So we go to the edit function, we choose the additional functions and see the overview of the code. We can here see that the detailed comparison between the earlier code and the code that was revised. So we made the change, if you remember, we made the change from 10 users, the customer asked a change for 15 users. The Oracle database was changed with Sybase, and the price for these have also been changed automatically by the system. So that kind of completes the code scenario, which is probably one of the most important processes in the entire demo here. The rest of the demos would basically refer this particular data, and we can generate the sales order creation, the contract, and everything. So we now copy this code and we create the code for submission to the customer. Now let's look at the contract creation. Yeah. So now we create a contract. Specifically here, the contract is created with reference to a code as we created in the previous step. So we put in the code number that we created and we copy the code data to the contract. So in a contract, we basically do not do anything additional, but we basically call the code and incorporate it while creating the contract. So we can now review the contract. Say, for example, we can see the billing plan for each item. We can see that the billing plan is also got incorporated. We can also check the configurator again specifically to see what are the products that are configured for this particular line item. So here we can see that the number of users are 15 now. and the database is Sybase. So if you see that the code serves as a reference for creating the contract, there are no additional effort that's required in creating a contract, and we can save the contract and see that the system generates a contract number. And at this point of time, a unique serial number for our product that we sold will be created by the system automatically. This particular serial number we can use during the entire contract life cycle. And I'll just show you the serial number here. So you can see that the serial number has been automatically created by the system. You can use the serial number to track the entire product life cycle. Now let's move on to creating a sales order or a contract release order. And even this process is basically created with reference to the contract. So we call the contract copy that specific contract, and we now look at the sales order, which is populated with all the details of the contract. So we enter the PO, customer PO reference, the PO date, and we now save the sales order. We will now look at the billing process. Once the sales order or the contract order has been saved, we will now do a billing. We will create a billing document with reference to a sales order, and we can see that the billing has been incorporated. Now, the most important point here is, if you look at the remote support, the system has automatically, based on the billing plan, created a billing for 1 month. And we can now review this particular billing document, and we can post the billing document. And we can now view the invoice that's been generated. We can use different forms. We can show you the standard format that's been used here. And here we can see that a detailed breakdown has been provided for the software license, the AMC, and the remote support. The remote support, the pricing, if you see, has been broken down into 12 installments and billed to the customer. So let's now look at, having created the billing document, let's also now look at the install base process. So we will try and get the install base data out of the system, which is basically created again with reference to a sales document. So we enter the contract number, we enter the item number, and we can see that the serial number details that we just saw in the previous screens are updated. We can add in any external ID here specifically for internal reference purposes, and we can save the install base. So there are standard reports provided in SAP for most of these processes that we described. You can look at quotation list, incomplete quotes, expiring quotes, the expired quotes. You can also list the entire contracts, the expiring contracts, the expired and the completed contracts. You can view the billing documents, and you can see the sales related information. So that's the basic overview of the processes. So we can just look at a list of contracts and then probably wind up the demo process. So here I can just put in a customer sold to party and look at all the open contracts for this particular party or customer. And here we can see the entire contracts, the open contracts that are there. There are multiple reports, so I would not be getting into too much of these reports, but there are standard reports provided in this solution to meet the daily reporting requirements of the customer. So we can now see that the entire process, the only effort that is required is in building the code, and all other processes are referenced and created with reference to quote or contract. The install base that we talked of is also automatically created through the system, helping us track the same for future references. The automated and streamlined billing process increases the accuracy, reduces the manual effort on the part of the sales team when processing invoices to the customer. So what are the benefits to the management and sales team? Basically, it's a single process followed here. We just create a quote. We've gone through the dashboard, so the decision making, the management can actually view the dashboards in real time, analyze those dashboards, and we can go through the sales processes, which we have looked at how to create a quote specifically with the variant configurator or the product configurator. We've looked at the processes, for seeing the version changes in the quotes. We created the contract with reference to a quote. We have created a sales order with reference to a contract. We created a billing document, and we created an install base. So we've actually kind of taken you through the entire sales process specifically, and this is an ongoing process. And as we said, again, this definitely helps reduce the complexity in terms of the manual effort that is used in terms of creation of quotes. It eliminates the Excel spreadsheet. So there are multiple advantages of implementing this kind of a solution. Now let's look at the TechOne overview. Basically, the solution that YASH has provided. It's a SAP Business all-in-one solution designed for the high-tech software providers, and it is a pre-packaged solution for the following business processes: the pricing and contract management, the software license and install base management, product configuration, the financial accounting and controlling, the project resource management, the service management. Let's look at the detailed solution. On the software sales side, the pricing and contracts are covered, order management, licenses, billing, the integration and install base, which we talked about in the demo. There is a seamless integration with financials and controlling. You can look at the accounts payable, the accounts receivable, general ledger. We have revenue recognition built in. We've also got profitability analysis where we can look at product-based profitability, customer-wise profitability. We have cost center planning and actuals. On the service management side, the scope includes fixed price, T&M billing, projects, and both are T&M and fixed price. We also have interfaces with third-party applications on the Salesforce, the Kronos, and the payroll interface. On the marketing and product development, we've got sales planning, forecasting, the incentives and commission, leads and opportunities management. And we talked about the add-on solution. We have a product configurator. We can include dashboards. Standard 13+ dashboards are provided with the solution. It's integrated with purchasing. So right from a quotation to a purchase order, the goods receipt and the invoice processing are included. On the customer service side, we could include the service sales, the service contract management, the customer service and support, and the field service. It's a comprehensive solution for the high-tech industry and the professional services industry. So it's a one solution support, which it supports all your key processes. On the standard solution, it's been built up on ECC 6 with the product configurator, which is simple and scalable as you have seen. It includes complex pricing with the configurator, and it is integrated to the billing plan. In the extended scope, as we talked about the SAP convergent charging, it's a tool for complex pricing and usage-based processing of billing. It's specifically designed for high-volume transactions. We also have in the extended scope the integrated lead management and customer service through the SAP CRM on demand, and we would not be required to use any third-party CRM applications if we use this specific solution. So if there are any specific questions, please feel free to ask them, and we can probably explain them on.
Thanks, Rajesh. That was great. I think the audience will agree that YASH and SAP can help customers reduce complexity in high-tech billing. We have a few minutes to answer questions, and I have a couple we can start with already. Let's see. Rajesh, how complex is the product configurator to set up, specifically the product and service with the product service dependencies?
Yeah. In fact, the SAP product configurator is a highly callable solution. It can handle several hundreds of characteristics. The configuration models are correspondingly comprehensive. The complexity again can be decided based on the scenario, the dependencies and the conditions that need to be coded. It can be used effectively in code creation, the order process in SAP ECC6, and also in the SAP CRM tool.
Okay, thanks. Let's see. Here's another question. The dashboards shown are quite intuitive. Please let us know whether these industry analytics are part of your our TechOne solution.
Yeah, typically YASH sells TechOne solution along with these analytics, which are built on SAP best practices. As we showed in the solution scope, we have built in 12 crystal reports plus 6 dashboards specifically for the customers as a part of the solution, the TechOne solution.
Okay. Let's just wait 1 minute, see if any more questions come in. All right, I'm not seeing any, so that concludes our webcast. Thank you for participating. Attendees will receive a complimentary document. Please visit yash.com/AIO for all of our all-in-one solutions, or note the contact details on the last slide for further information. Thanks again, and have a great day.